And we are live. What is up, guys? Welcome in. This is Mountaineer Paul with another live edition of Mountaineer Paul Talk Football. As you know, a lot of times when we have these impromptu live sessions, it usually means there's some type of news breaking or news to announce. And so let's let a few more people get in here. I see Elizabeth Barnes in here. What's up? Channel member, appreciate you for being here. Obviously, the Aubrey Burks situation has been something I followed. Don't know if anybody else has, but he is the safety who, by all accounts, going into last year was, by some people's measure, a preseason All American. Somebody expected him to play at an All Big 12 level last year. Unfortunately, I think the whole of the defense was the problem, not really Aubrey. Plus, he was injured during the TCU game, and it was just a really just disjointed type situation for Aubrey last year. Coming into this offseason, there were rumors that Ole Miss was tampering with Aubrey Burks and that he had been trying to be coerced away to the Rebels, right? So that happened. Now we lose safeties coach, the person that's coached him his entire career, somebody that he's extremely tight with, Coach Dontae Wright. He goes to coach at Troy at a high level coordinator position. So it may have spell checked me, Tyler. I'll have to go check. How did it spell? I mean, that's how I spelled it. That's how I would spell it. Burks. What did it put? That's got me mad. It must have spell corrected me. I was in a hurry. Apologies, guys. Where did I put that at? Anyway, obviously I know how to spell Aubrey Burks. I just must have not. I was in a hurry trying to get this live out, guys. Apologies, guys, if it's spelled wrong. I'll correct it after the video. So at the end of the day, Huddy Tuddy, as you guys know, this guy's breaking news all the time, and is he looks like he's a burner account, but trust me, he's not. He's actually, somebody I lean on for information, and I provide him some when I can. He's a good dude, man. He truly is, and he was able to share with me a text message between himself and Aubrey Burks. And yes, Aubrey has confirmed that he will stay. So I feel like that's a big deal. And just for the record here, there it is in two words. I'm staying. So you guys saw that. So at the end of the day, that's a big deal for the Mountaineers, guys. We needed him to stick around. I think Anthony Wilson was really coming on at the end of the year. Last year, you think about Josh Minkins, who we just signed, but Aubrey really needs another coverage safety alongside of him, somebody that can cover with him. Burks and Minkins and Wilson are more in the box type safeties, guys that play the run really well, that can struggle in coverage from time to time. So I think this is going to be a big one, obviously, because I haven't lost any respect for Aubrey, and I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I really, really do. Um, Tyler Cobb, channel member, said, "Who do you see the starting secondary being?" It's too early to tell, man, but I think some combination of Aubrey, Anthony Wilson, Minkins. Um, then you get to the corner spots. You talk about Montre Miller will have a year in the system, even though he was injured last year. You look for him to possibly take a step up. If he can be what he was supposed to be, along side TJ Crandall, I don't think there's any doubt he will probably be the most talented corner on the roster. It's all about how he can pick it up. I've said this last week, guys, but if you haven't saw TJ Crandall from Colorado State, the highlights, this is a Jalen Ramsey body type, long, lanky, Coverage safety, absolutely. We'll be able to play man coverage next year, guys. Absolutely. I have no doubt about it. Now, will Jordan Leslie do that? I don't know, but I think we won't be playing as much zone next year. So TJ Carroll is going to go a long way towards that, along with Aubrey State. Now, things can change. Now, we all know that. Another team could come along and try to coerce Aubrey away from us. It could absolutely happen, and he could announce next week that he's leaving somewhere. But at the end of the day, he's given permission to Huddy Tuddy, and Huddy Tuddy has given me permission to share this news, and I want to thank him for that. I wouldn't know about it without him, and he let me know before he broke the news, and that's a sign of respect, and I truly do appreciate that. So, guys, don't forget the super chat button is down below. If you'd like to thank me for the services I try to provide, people like Huddy Tuddy, people like Coos, you can use that super chat button. Also, if you want to be a part of the conversation, I would appreciate that as well. And we can move the conversation in any direction you would like to take it. If you want to become a channel member, you can do that as well. There are 2 tiers. If you want to gift channel memberships to other people, you can do that as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, the whole thing, the whole spiel. Before we go any further, we have to thank the sponsor for this video, which is Dutch Miller Automotive. You guys should be proud of me. I actually remembered it myself this time. This episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and always ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com, or you can just come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store. And let's all say it together, near you. It's near you, Kenny. Mountaineer Lair with Kenny, one of the most loyal people here. That's probably Jalen Thornton, Tyler. So if you didn't know, so at the end of the day, he's mentioned that in a few interviews. That would be my best guess. I've not been told that by any source, but just based on my knowledge of the program, knowledge of the players, I would believe that to be Jalen Thornton. Channel member Dustin Salts, what's up, brother? You're the man, Paul. Keep the good content coming. These are the kind of comments we need more of, right? I love to be praised, and good job, Paul. I'm just kidding. Appreciate that, Dustin. So, but yeah, so obviously this has been a situation I've been worried about. You can't replace an Aubrey Burks, guys. He's got several years in the system. He's a really good player, despite the totality of what the defense looked like last year. I think Aubrey's going to bounce back and have an all Big 12 season this year, possibly an All American season. It's possible. Don't underestimate Aubrey Burks. Yes, Jacob, he's coming back. Don't want to speculate on that, Bama, but just kind of do the math. You know, who has been around for a long time that probably would do well with a change of scenery? No bad blood here. I haven't been given permission to share this. So, and while I know who it is, I just don't think. Just take a couple guesses. There's only a couple people it can be, right? Who else on the team has been here for a long time and hasn't really done anything um, based on the time given? Not that he hasn't done anything. This is somebody who just hasn't flashed like I thought he would. So, no, it's not CJ. We're talking about somebody that's been here for at least 3 or 4 years. So that's the best hint I can give you. So, and it will be a loss. because this person has been good, been a really good teammate and all that, and isn't a bad player, but we need more out of the position. So I think it's going to be um, healthy for both sides for this to happen. All right, guys. All right, glad you got it. All right, me too, JA. It's a big deal, man. Um, this is a positive sign, and got to throw Country Roads Trust in here, guys. I doubt that. See, this news, it was all over social media last week. I highly doubt that there wasn't coaches, people from the trust checking in with Aubrey the entire time. And a lot of times, what will happen is these players will use these rumors as leverage, right? And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's smart. And I'm not saying it's dumb, but it is something that happens. It's about to be the bowl game, right before the bowl game. We're incredibly thin in the secondary. What if Aubrey Burks were to go to Ole Miss? Would that up his NIL situation? Ask yourself that question. I don't know Aubrey personally, and I can't say for sure that he did that, but it's something that some agents might encourage, right? So just think about that. So I don't know that he was ever leaving. I don't know if the rumors, because there's all in this day and age. The one thing here's the reason I tell people when there are certain people that have kind of released this stuff early about these players possibly leaving, and what it basically essentially does is gives them leverage to leverage the Country Roads Trust, and unfortunately, that hurts the team, right? And that's what we all want is the team to win. Well, when you've got your good players that are seemingly happy, they're not stupid. They're going to use this kind of stuff to their advantage. So Marco Polo's in the chat. Well, uh, I missed something. Well, I missed something. Well, it is what it is, Tyler. Wait, isn't there a scary movie out about that right now? Something like that, a Marco Polo scary movie going on right now. Just curious. Hey, has anybody on here played Saints Row 4, by the way? I know this is off topic, but my nephew wanted for Christmas, he wanted me to get him uh, a Nintendo Switch game. We got Nico in the chat. I doubt it. If Nico's in the chat, that would be awesome. But anyway, he wanted something like Grand Theft Auto, so I got him Saints Row 4. Hopefully, it's something similar that he would like. If anybody's played that, let me know down below. If Nico Markel's in the chat, do I need to talk to you, brother? Got some questions for you. Appreciate that, John. I mean, credible news sources have printed this. People I know in the media have confirmed it. So, Bama, I don't think it's something that I think he's definitely been hired. So now, could West Virginia counteroffer the Troy people? Maybe that could happen, and maybe they did. But there are other coaches out there that we could replace Dontae with. I'm not saying that he's, I'm not saying he's not replaceable or that he is or anything, or that he's a bad coach. But thanks, Lizdell. Appreciate that. But I think, from everything I've heard, he's gone. So, but if he were to stay, that would probably explain some things about Aubrey as well. So I'll keep you updated on that. If that changes, I'll do a video on it. Nico Marchiol is not transferring to my knowledge. I've been told by a few people that he is going to stick it out. So if it was going to happen, maybe it happens after the bowl game, and because a lot of these, it's not a bad blood situation with a lot of these players if they're transferring. So in this, and we're thin at some positions. So could a player stick around for the bowl game and then transfer out? Sure, maybe Mark Yule does that, but I've been told that he's going to stick around. Now that could change too. You just never know, guys. Like Aubrey could tell me to my face right now that he's staying, and then tomorrow it could change. Because if you were in their situation and somebody came at you with just a life changing amount of money, would you think about it? Would you do it? And then there's literally hundreds of thousands of agents and people in the country that are for different universities. Just think how many people for these universities. They probably have at least 10 to 20 people, at every school major that is maybe not hundreds of thousands, but thousands that are reaching out to people and then telling them about these situations and money. So it happens everywhere. The thing is it better? Is it worth it? Is the trade off good? I think we've seen with certain people, no. With certain people, yes. Did Tyke Smith make himself some money and status by going to Georgia? Yeah, he did. Uh, so that's a good one. That's a good transfer. Uh, did a few others that have left? No. The guys that left to Colorado last year? No. I would say they would have done better in our defense and helping us. So I don't know, man. Okay, John, the Marco Polo thing is coming back up again. J.A. Jones said we're going to be better next year. So excited. Absolutely, man. Basically, they offered him. They didn't accept. Then they fulfilled the spots, and now Noel ain't happy. Ain't doing him no favors, by the way. He's acting on Twitter. I actually did a video on that earlier, Bam. I don't know if you've seen it. We can definitely talk about the Noel Devine situation if somebody wants to do that. Um, I kind of gave my thoughts on it earlier today, but I feel like this is a tough situation because here's a kid that is a legacy kid that is not a bad football player. He's putting up huge numbers in the state of Florida. He's certainly good enough to play college football. And yet, the class we signed at the running back and wide receiver position, you can't really argue against. I mean, you look at the three guys at wide receiver that we have. Brandon Raymond, however he says his last name, I haven't really heard that yet. Day freaking Farmer, and obviously Dom Collins. Those dudes are all truly really good players, top 150 type receivers. Except Dom hasn't been noticed until recently. They finally gave him his third star this week, I guess maybe because he went to West Virginia. So that helps with him. And then the running backs we brought in, Travion Dunbar is, if you haven't seen any of his highlights yet, he's basically like Jaheim White. It's what he looks like on tape to me. So, to me, man, I just think that they ran out of room for him, similar to what can happen when, basically they offered him in 22. There were some stipulations that he needed to meet, talking about Andre Devine, from what I've been told, and then he didn't meet them. And so they moved on to other players. And now at the end, the signing day comes and it's gone. And you look at that kid's offer list, guys, and it's Bethune Cookman. It's Marshall might be his best offer now. I just think while a lot of you guys have said that Neil needs to make it right, consider that the players we brought in are just a little better right now. Here's what I told Coos earlier. I wouldn't be surprised because of his lineage, his genetics, if he goes to a smaller school, tears it up, and gets himself, 2 or 3 years down the road, a big time Power Five offer to transfer, and we look like idiots for not taking him. There's no doubt about that. It could possibly happen. But I do think at this point in time, he's not developed enough to play running back at this level. And wide receivers, you saw who he brought in. Who you taking him over? Uh, and all the receiving footage there is out there of him is basically there's not a whole lot of variety to it. It's him running go routes and running by people. At the run, I mean, I could see a way for him to help the team, but it seems like it was just bad timing. And obviously, Noel getting on social media doesn't. Do you really want to take on Andre Devine unless he's special? When Noel Devine is pretty vocal on Twitter like he is, think about that, guys. The coaches have to weigh that as well. If Andre comes here and doesn't play or isn't good enough to play, or let's say he is, and they feel like he's not using him right, then you've got to deal with a former alum who's a 5-star running back on social media making you look dumb. And is you weigh that the pop you you know Noel's basically all over social media promoting this kid for him instead of letting Andre do some of this himself. And I just think I don't know. For on this one, I'm a little bit more on the coaching staff side. Maybe I'm in the minority on that, but I don't know. You take what away from Day Day? I agree. Right. I get that. And Tavon was also a 5-star player. So it's not comparable. It's not comparable to me. This is a kid that I don't know what you were talking about there, Jeff. It could be out of context, but man, I just don't see it on this one. I don't. I love the kid on tape, really. I think he's a good player. But I think he needs to develop somewhere for a year or two. And West Virginia, just our running back room is so strong right now. We really don't need to take a chance on a kid like that. I would love to see whenever our first offer went out in 22, I wanted him but they didn't jump from what I understand now. I could be wrong because I don't know every little in and out of it. But from what I've been told by people in the media that follow recruiting, he had an offer go out and they didn't jump on it fast enough, right? So I think they wanted to see if there was anything better, and that's how it looks. So watching this video, it's one touch of your screen. Yeah, hit that like button, man. There's 47 of you guys in here as of right now. If you just hit the X button, if you're watching on your phone and hit the like button real quick, it'd mean a lot to me. Um, I really appreciate that. Now he was a 5-star on two publications and a 4-star on one, John. But it's either here or there. I remember I followed it very closely out of Dunbar High School. Maybe so, brother. Well, the thing is, Lizzo, special teams is the players that only play special teams really are walk-ons and people that are developing. Um, I just don't think. I mean, we're already over the limit. We're going to have to process some guys out at this point. Remember, Neil still wants to bring in between 2 and 6 more portal players. So what are you going to do? I mean, we got to get rid of people. So I don't know how you bring Andre in, but maybe they figure it out. No way. Sorry, Kenny, but I don't know about Dom, but definitely not Day Day Farmer. That kid is he could end up being the best player in his class. I mean, and that's not really a stretch to say. He's the highest rated player in the class. So Uh, I wouldn't take anything away from Day Farmer. I give him every chance to touch the ball I can, But I know everybody wants Andre here because of Noel, but strip the name away from him, and I think if you could look at it just a little bit different way, but we're not all going to agree on this. What are you talking about, brother? Oh, okay, gotcha. Exactly. They already took a chance on Dom Collins, in-state kid. You know, now Coos and I had a little back and forth about Dom Collins and Andre before we went on the show earlier. I was playing devil's advocate, but I said if you want to make a case for Andre, obviously he's doing what he's doing in the state of Florida, and Dom did what he did in West Virginia. Obviously, Florida competition being better than West Virginia competition. That's one strike in the direction of Andre. You look at the 40 times Dom's a 4.2 guy. Uh, they say that Andre's 4.7, but he don't look 4.7 on tape. He looks more like 4.4. Um, he puts up enormous numbers. He looks really good, like he truly does. It's hard, man, but I just don't know. If you gave me the opportunity to make a choice between those two players, I don't know who I wouldn't even know who to take between Dom and Andre. But obviously, Dom at one point was unranked, and so I think that's why a lot of people, especially Noel's, mad because Dom was unranked, and so I think that's what he's looking at here. Well, you guys took an unranked player with my son, but he also brought up portal players, and so that's kind of was interesting to me because why would he bring up portal players, right? It doesn't make sense if your kid's a running back. Why are you bringing up portal players? Maybe they're recruiting him at wide receiver because he said in his post, Noel Devine, you took all these players from the transfer portal that are already developed over my son, right? So we only took wide receivers that would on the offensive side. So maybe they're recruiting him as a receiver, slot possibly. And you saw who we brought in at receiver, Jaden Brady. So, it's hard to say, man. Honestly, it's hard to say. Hope you guys have a good Christmas. Um, what's up, Gary Shepard? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, man, if you're not subscribed already. Um, Merry Christmas to you, Mark. Merry Christmas. Somebody else said it too. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate that, brother. Um, so to summarize, though, Aubrey Burks is staying. Andre Devine is not coming, unfortunately. Um, would love to see that happen, but I just not see it happening. Good day to be a Mountaineer. Great week to be alive. It's Christmas season. Hope all you guys get to spend time with your family. Um, hope I get to spend time with mine, and I'm going to enjoy that. I went shopping for my niece and nephew today, and that meant a lot to me. Um, and as you guys know, I do this for a living, so I may be broke now, but my heart is full. I got to do stuff for my niece and nephew that in the past, as you guys know with my story, I haven't been able to do. So I'm really grateful today for you guys. You guys all mean a ton to me, man. Really do. I consider you all my buddies. Um, and I mean that. So hope you guys have a good Christmas and everything. Don't forget to subscribe if you ain't. Hit that like button for me before you go and leave a comment down below, even if it's after the video. All right. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Hope you have a good Christmas. I'll be putting content up all week. I plan on doing a Duke's Mayo Bowl preview trying to get a North Carolina content creator, man, they're hard to come across. May have to go the media route and find somebody in a newspaper or something, but I'll find somebody to do or I'll do it myself, whatever. But we'll figure it out. All right, guys. I hate to cut you off, but I got stuff I need to do tonight. Make some dinner. Love you guys too, man. Thanks, Mouth in the Mountains. Love you guys too for sure. Um, keep coming back as always, man. Hope you guys do well. This has been another episode of Mountaineer Paul Talk Football. This episode is over. Put that up right before we go. Why didn't anyone else like the video? I'm like before you go.